Here's another one to talk about. The headline in today's Daily Express, strangely enough, not about the weather or Princess Diana or some medical thing, but raking it in. That's the headline. It's reporting that councils are charging almost £74 million a year for garden waste collection. This is based on data collected by the BBC One's Rip-Off Britain, which says that more than half of local authorities have introduced charges. And I think I'm right in saying, correct me if I'm wrong, in North East Lincolnshire, so in Grimsby and Cleethorpes, you're paying to have your garden waste collected. It was a fairly recent innovation. Is it working? Do you resent it? Talk to me this morning. Do you think it's coming your way? Let's talk to Paul O'Brien, who's the Chief Executive of the Association for Public Service. Paul, thanks for your time. Welcome to the Burnsy Show on BBC Radio Humberside this morning. Is it coming everybody's way? Is it inevitable?
Well, there's a significant number of local authorities, Burnsy, who have introduced these charges now. It's not a decision that local authorities take lightly, but faced with some of the cuts that they've had and some of the rises in demand for adult services and children's services, then, it's something that a number of authorities have decided to have to do.
Yeah, and I suspect they probably have to put the tin hats on, because on this programme we get a lot of calls about waste collection and everything like that. And if people are going to have to pay for it, there'll be a bit of stick flying.
Well, that's just part of the job, unfortunately, of being a local representative of the people. You get that flack. I don't think anybody comes in to public office to cut things. You come in to try and do things for people, but in the current financial situation, there's some very, very difficult choices that are having to be made at present.
But you say local representative of the people, and the people don't really want to pay for their grass and garden waste being collected. They've always had it for free. Why should they pay for it? And that's not being representative of the people.
I think when the public understand that local authorities provide something in the region of a couple of hundred different services, and those services, the finance that's been available for those services has been cut by about 40% since 2010, then they understand that councils are making very, very difficult decisions. And sometimes being that representative of the people means you are the one who has to make those difficult decisions that nobody else wants to make. That's the life of a councillor, unfortunately, these days.
What's the average charge?
The average charge that we've identified is somewhere in the region of about just over £34. Some people are quoting higher figures, but somewhere in the region of £34. Now, what we equate that to is it's about 66p a week, and that's about a quarter of the cost of a cup of coffee in a decent coffee shop these days. So for the quarter of the price of a cup of coffee, you get all your waste taken away and dealt with for you if you want to do that.
But people would say, we hold on a minute, we've already paid our council tax. The council tax has gone up everywhere. Come on, what are you doing?
In the past, council tax only made up a very small percentage of the money that local councils spent on services. They got a significant amount of grant from central government that came from general taxation. Unfortunately, over the last 8 or 9 years, that sum of money from central government has dropped dramatically, and therefore it's created great pressure on services at a local level.
I'll go back to my first question. Is it inevitable that all councils are going to do this?
I think it probably, on the current trajectory of finance, and then it probably is something that all councils will be looking at present.
All right, that's not quite, yes, they're all going to do it. You were a bit hesitant there, Paul.
Well, it comes down to local choice and local priorities for people, but the severe pressures that councils are under at present, I would be surprised if they're not all looking at this at present.
Okay, and what's the top charge?
I'm not sure. I've heard of some authorities charging up to about £60, I think.
Right, okay. We'll see what happens. Paul, nice to talk to you. I want to see what people think on this one. Paul O'Brien, Chief Executive of the Association for Public Service. I'll be particularly interested